Jake, what's the key to finding a running game? And if you could, what could that do to really open things up for you?
Yeah, definitely. That's the first thing that we emphasize of actually starting the games is establishing the run game. And, going into the Alabama game, we tried to get a little more creative to put these guys in easier positions to make better blocks. And, when it comes down to it, there's got to be a physicality standpoint. And, I think we've kind of backed down from that challenge the past few weeks.
To the right side, Mark.
Spav, you were talking about the lack of physicality with the offensive line. How do you go about reasserting that aggressiveness, the physicality? Do you change players? Do you change scheme? What do you do?
Yeah, I think, obviously I think all positions are open over this bye week, but, it goes down to practice, and we're probably going to change the way that we practice a little bit more and try to be more physical and have a lot more contact in our practices, throughout the rest of this bye week leading into the Louisiana Monroe game.
Go to the left here, Zach, and then to the middle, Sam.
Coach, we don't have a chance to ask him today that he's not coming in, but Kenny Hill, just as far as Kenny's attitude, obviously he showed some frustration on the sideline during the game. Where is he at right now? Is he frustrated? Is he just kind of calm like he usually is?
Yeah, no, obviously he's frustrated. Again, I've always said that he tries not to show much emotion, but he does have a lot of emotion. He just doesn't like to show it around the kids. And, obviously on the sidelines we got hit in the mouth and we weren't responding. And, he showed some emotion out there. But, where Kenny is right now is, he's pretty eager to get back to work and just try to fix what's gone wrong. Because, obviously we started off this season pretty well and we know what we're capable of doing. And, we're back to the drawing board and trying to find ways to get us back to what we were doing.
Go Sam, then down front, Brent, to the back.
Were there any thoughts, or I guess why we didn't maybe see some offensive personnel changes earlier in the game on Saturday when things weren't going well?
I threw a lot of different things out there. You started off with an 11 personnel package with Cam Clear, and obviously that we couldn't establish anything on that. So you saw us go quickly into our empty series and putting five receivers out there, and we did a lot of things that Alabama hadn't seen yet, especially in our empty packages of going quads and going a bunch and stack sets and, trying to cause confusion, which we did. It just came down to execution. So, after the empty package wasn't working very well, we went back to 11 personnel and we started quick motion. And we tried to shoot a lot of bullets at them, but we just couldn't execute it.
And how much consideration are you given to possibly making a change at quarterback?
There's everything's still open on the table. I think I'm going to open up every position this week. And what I want to find the 11 guys that want to go out there and fight and be physical and want to play. And, we spent a lot of time on that game plan and trying to put these guys into positions to make it easier on them. But when it comes down to it, it's a physical sport and you got to go out there and you got to fight. And, I think this week we're going to have a lot of discussions, and we're going to see who's going to be the best 11 players that is going to go out there and fight and compete for us.
Down front, Brent.
Jake, how much consideration was given to turning to Kyle earlier in the game as opposed to the fourth quarter with the game, already out of hand in the second half?
Yeah, there was some discussions because the game was so far out of hand. When, I think I looked up and it was 52-0 with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. So, we went out there and we tried a couple more things just to compete and just not give in yet. And at that point, once the game was completely out of line, we just decided to get in our other receivers and other quarterbacks and just try to get some continuity and experience to play in Bryant-Denny Stadium like that.
I guess all of us in the preseason and early in the season thought this offensive line was going to be a team strength. What do you feel has happened with it along the way?
When you go into the season and that's the strength of your team and you see them getting beat, then, that's obviously going to be tough and it's going to put pressure on other kids. But, I still got a lot of faith and confidence in these kids, and we got to get back, through these meetings, and they got to know the truth and they got to see it. And, the film's not going to lie, and I think some of them see how their performance is out there, and, I think they've got to fix it. If not, they're going to be replaced.
To the left here, Aubrey.
With the success in the debut, obviously you go through spring, summer, fall, overwhelming success against South Carolina, and then a couple weaker opponents. Do you think some complacency might have set in with your offense?
Possibly. I'm still trying to figure that out. But, we started off, I thought we were physical in that South Carolina game. I thought we competed. I thought we were blocking on the perimeter well and up front. And, we had a great run game and a passing attack in that game. And, I don't know if it's complacency or not. What I've seen over the past 3 weeks is we got hit in the mouth and we haven't really responded well to it. So, it now goes down to the guys of just whether or not they're going to come back and fight or not.
Go to the back, Daryl, and then to the middle, Sam.
Coach, when things aren't going right and it doesn't, it seemed like there were times on Saturday, it didn't matter what you called, it wasn't going to work. Did you just kind of want to just throw your headset and go, what do I do now?
Yeah, no, that's just not in my nature. My nature is just to keep competing and keep finding a way, I try not to look at the score at all. I just try to put our kids in a position to take it down and score. I want to try to score every time we get the ball. So mainly, I don't show much emotion on the sidelines. I want to try to figure out what we can do to fix it and try to get the team in the end zone the next drive.
The middle, Sam.
Seems like you guys have had a little bit of a struggle throwing it downfield. I guess how much that's by design, how much of it is simply maybe not having enough protection? I guess what are the reasons behind that?
Right. If you looked how Alabama played us, they played too high majority of the game, and it was two-man, and they took away our quick game throws. They took away that leverage, and they put two guys over the top to take away the shots. So you got to rely on your intermediate passing game, and we had trouble at times protecting that long to get to that point. But there was times where they did a great job of protecting it, and we just didn't get it done outside, or maybe Kenny's eyes were in the wrong spots at certain places. But yeah, just how they played us, it's definitely a game plan meant on you have to have pretty good pass protection if you're going to throw the ball, especially if you can't establish a run game.
One more, Sam.
Having been in this offense for quite some time, have you ever experienced a stretch like this or a lack of success of this nature?
I've had times. At West Virginia, we were 5-0, ranked third in the country, and then we lost 5 straight. So I've been through this before. The main thing is it's really nothing to do with scheme or anything of that. It's more of just the mentality that we play with and getting out there and competing and having some pride of what you do.
Over to the left, Cease.
We looked at the tape, you had a 2-over, but your wide receiver was able to get separation. They have a rough time getting separation on Saturday.
No, we actually did. The way we had the scheme lined up, getting into quad sets and bunch and stacks will get them out of playing press man on us. And I thought it did cause them a few problems on passing it all off because we had a lot of switch routes and it causes a lot more confusion because we did a lot of things that they hadn't seen yet. But I really never allowed them to have an opportunity to press us up and take us away from that. And have that separation. We caused it by schematically having good separation, or at least getting a clean release.
Hey, anything else? All right, Jake, thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.